All right, Mulligans and Hackers Golf podcast, episode number 68. Purple Sombrero recap and the conclusion to our 2024 Mulligans and Hackers Golf Tour season.
Another disappointing season for the Alvinator. Fourth season disappointing. Again, it's fourth season in a row I've come up second in the chase for the Cup. So that's getting old, without a doubt. But we'll recap our match play we did this weekend, which is the first time we've played match play.
Which was kind of cool, actually. It was cool.
Different format. It was fun to try it out, and I'd like to play more of it, for sure. But, as you can tell, match play champion for the Purple Sombrero, Christopher wins.
Another major into my feather cap.
Well, again, isn't that another Grand Slam?
Yes. So in 4 years, this completes my second Grand Slam. So I won the golden sombrero or the purple sombrero today. I solidified the wins with 4 because we only had 7 events. I finished with 4. You could have tied me if you would have won today. And then I locked up the cup last weekend at our tour championship. Won the tour championship, won the jug at the major, and my second in 4 years that I've got the complete Grand Slam. So it's as much as Alvin was disappointed with his season again. I'm at the opposite end of the spectrum, and I mean I did what I always do. I do just enough to win, and
I do just enough to lose.
So it was an interesting format this weekend. I mean, it was our first, like we had talked about before, we wanted to find a way to put the, to make sure that the Purple Sombrero was still an award that we would give away. So we thought up the match play format, and we decided we were going to do it this weekend. We round 1 pitted myself, who was first in the standings in points, versus Dave, who was 4th, and Alvin, who was 2nd in the standings, versus Clark, who was 3rd. And we played 18 holes of match play from the hybrids, so the yellow whites or the white yellows at Medicine Hat. And I gotta say, for my first time playing match play, it's interesting because if you have one really shitty hole, it only costs you 1 hole. Like, I mean, in stroke play, that could bury you. But in match play, it's like, okay, I lost this hole. I'm just down 1, or I'm down 1 more, and I got to go out and find it. So it was a tale of 2 very different matches yesterday on Saturday. I'll speak to my match first. I was playing Dave, and Dave's been playing some good golf lately in stretches, right? So I said to Alvin, I was like, I might have the better matchup on paper, but I think I honestly have the harder matchup here.
I think I said to you before we teed off, when we were at the practice green, I said, I think mine and Clark's match is going to be like the match to kind of watch, because it'll be really close right down to the end.
Yeah.
And it didn't turn out that way.
No.
Yours and Dave's was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mine and Dave's was right there. Like, Dave was matching me stroke for stroke. I think I made the turn and I was up 2. I think I was 2 up. I jumped out to an early 2 up, and then I think I was the max I was up on the front was 2. Then Dave knocked it down back to even, and then I grabbed another one, went 2 up, and Dave was never up on me, but he was
never far away.
He was never far away, and he was hanging around, and I mean, it took until the 16th hole for me to finish the match at 3-2. So I was 3 up with 2 to play. And I got to say, like Dave said, I was like, there was because Clark said something about pressure, and Dave's like, I had no pressure on me. I'm like, you had 0 pressure. I was like, all the pressure was on me. I'm the favorite coming into this event. If I lose, it's like you choked. And I was like, you had literal 0 pressure. You did everything right. You pushed me right to the end, forced me to make shots. you had me thinking, oh shit, like this is way closer than it needs to be.
Well, and as we were coming around, we made the turn, coming up the back nine. It was like, wow, Dave is still in it, and he's still like putting pressure on Chris to take some holes here down the stretch.
Yep, yeah. So I mean, I managed to beat him 3-2, which was good, and we played the last couple holes at with zero pressure. After that, we just kind of finished out because we played our round as well. And I mean, I shot a 84 yesterday, which was, I mean, I played awful on the front, and I think I was 9 over on the front, and I was 3 over on the back. Yeah, 9 over on the front and 3 over on the back. So I was pretty happy with that in the end. Took me a little bit while to go, but I mean, I got to give it to Dave. He played he did everything he should have done and more to make me think about my game and think about what was there. So that locked me into the final. But long before that, you had already locked up your match, right?
Well, I shot a career best at Medicine Hat on Saturday.
Yeah,
I shot an 80. Had an opportunity on 18 to shoot 79. Left my par putt.
Well, chip putt, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I was on the fringe, but I did putt. Probably about 3 inches short of the cup. Took a bogey for an 80.
Outstanding round.
My best round ever. It was literally the most comfortable I've been on a golf course in my life since I've started playing golf a few years ago.
And the craziest part about that is, so you shoot an 80, you played really, really well. Clark shot his season best today, or yesterday. He shot a 88, which was his season best, which is 16 over. You beat him. Not only did you beat him by 8 strokes, but you beat him 6 and 5.
6 and 5.
So you were 6 up with five holes to go, and it was over.
It was over.
Like you took control early on, and you ran with it, right? Because didn't you run off like 3 or 4 straight pars to start the round?
Yeah, I was. Can't even remember off the top of my head.
Because I mean,
I had a couple of double bogeys on the front.
Yeah, they were kind of spread out a little bit though.
Because I shot +5 on the
front.
On the front.
Yeah.
I ran off 4 pars in a row. Started with 4 pars.
Yep.
Then I doubled number 5. Then how you bounce back from that is important, right?
Yep.
And I had 2 pars after that double bogey. Then I went bogey double to finish the front 9 for a +5. But when I made the turn to the back 9, I did it again. I ran off 4 straight pars to start the back 9. And then it was back-to-back bogeys, back-to-back pars, and that bogey on 18, which gave me the 80. I don't know. It's that mixed emotion. I asked this question on the socials there yesterday. It's like 80, my best round ever at Medicine Hat, +8. And it's almost like I wasn't really happy about it, if that makes sense. Not that it should make sense, because you should be elated by it. But when you finish, you could have broke 80, you could have shot that 79. And I don't know, maybe that's what happened today when I went to the course, because it was a tale of two rounds for me. Yesterday being so on and so comfortable, doing my thing, showing up today, and just a train wreck. And again, you didn't play well today, but I played very poorly today.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't play... I don't know. I played about the same as yesterday, actually. My one shot worse than yesterday. Yeah. But my approach shots were not on today. You want to talk about frustration after a round. Dude, I lipped like 7 putts today.
That's true.
7 putts. Like, yeah. I had some legit looks at birdie.
Yeah. And
I had some 3 putts inside of, like, range that should not be 3 putts. Not even close. So my putter was not going early on. It was frustrating because I had some really good looks, and I could have buried you early.
You bet.
And I definitely didn't. I let you hang around, and then I let you get some opportunities to get some holes back. And I think I was looking at the scorecard. You won 2 holes all day.
Yeah,
2 holes
exactly
all day on me.
So we finished. So it's Clark and Dave. Clark won
the match, but it went to the 18th hole because Clark was 1 up going into 18. And then Clark drained like a 30-foot birdie putt to seal it with a chef's kiss there, and just a little spin-a-rooney in a toilet bowl flush, and drop
2 loops.
And that's with the exclamation point. So he beat Dave 2 up, in their match to finish third. So, and that was a fun match because that was really back and forth all day for them. I was one up after one. I think I was two up after three. So both par fives, I gotcha.
Yeah, I went double bogey, bogey.
Yeah,
that's how I started today.
Yeah. So, and I went par double. We have hole two because I hit my tee shot into the shit and I took an unplayable. And then three, I took a bogey, even though I was well within birdie range, and that should have been a par at the bare minimum. But I think, you bogeyed that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was only one up through three. Sorry, I think it was four that I went two up because I two putted that for a par and you bogeyed. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So then we kind of hung out at two up until.
But every time you would make a mistake, I would make the same mistake.
Yeah,
it was the entire day. Like, you gave me so many opportunities to say, "Here, Alvin, take this hole," and I would go, "No, thanks." I'd either duff a chip shot. My approach shots today, my driver, again.
Your driver's always good.
It is, and I'm starting to get some yardage on it now because I'm really opening it up and I'm hitting it hard.
Yep.
And still getting the accuracy that I want 100%.
I just want to talking about drivers. I swung my driver the last couple of days because I've kind of found my driver swing again. I only use my drivers on the par fives. Today I was 3 for 4 in fairways off the par fives.
There you go.
So I was pretty happy with that.
And I mean, I hit a lot of fairways, and I hit some great shots too to put myself, cutting tree lines and stuff like that, putting myself in shapes.
You were being aggressive,
but I could not hit an approach shot well until the match was pretty much over. I had an approach shot that was decent on 17, I think.
Well, I mean, I kind of look at a couple holes. I look at number 5. We both hit drives piped up the middle. I just chunked mine. It was a really bad wedge swing for me. And you hit yours, and I think you went off the like mid back, right? So then I chipped close, and I think I 2-putted for bogey, and you 3-putted for bogey. Like, you could have had one there, right? And that was just foreboding of what was coming.
And it was just the entire day was that. The entire day was that.
I gave you one back on number 9 because, God, I fucking hate hole number 9 at Medicine Hat. That fucking hole. I'm just going to hit driver every single time from now on. I'm not even joking. There's water left, and it's just a disaster, that hole. I hate it. So I was 3 up, and then I gave you 9 back. So then, and even on 8, like, you hit a beautiful drive. You cut the corner, and I hit mine out good. I was on the fairway. I hit mine. I hit a 9-iron to the top of the platform. It was good. I had a look at bird. You had a great shot.
I hit a great shot, but it was too long. Went off the back, and I had to chip back.
Yeah.
And again, it wasn't a great chip. And then I'm beating it around the green.
Yeah, you think you took a double?
Yep.
And I ended up. I actually bogeyed that. I should have freaking parred or birdied it, but I bogeyed it again. Another 3-putt I didn't need to go 3 up. So then on 9 you get 1 back. So we make the turn. Yeah, I'm 2 up at the turn. We're playing the yellows on number 10, which brings the green into play for you because it really fits your shot shape really well.
Yep. I did hit a good drive on that one. I was just off to the left side of the green, but again, terrible chip, terrible, just like terrible.
But you did 2-putt for a par.
I did.
Yeah, but so you find a 2-putt par. I hit a nice little 7-iron out there. I hit a chip, and I put it within like 2 feet, and I finally sink a putt for birdie.
Yep.
Like, when I drained that, I'm like, I feel so bad because Alvin actually played a really good hole, and he's going to lose another one.
But that's just, again, that was the day in a nutshell. Was, the times that you needed to make a shot to take something, you did it. The times that I needed to make a shot to take something, I just let it go. And that was the entire day, and it was... Well, it was frustrating coming, and again, I wasn't even focused on, like, I had to ask you where we were a couple of times because I wasn't even really focused on where we were in the match place per se. I was trying just to get my game back, to try and play the game like
similar to what you did yesterday, right?
Just driver, hit it up towards the green. If you don't hit the green, chip it close, 1 or 2 putts.
And you did such a great job of that yesterday.
Yeah, and it was frustrating. I couldn't even come close to that today. And not even like hitting okay shots and it's just not working out. Just hitting bad shots all day.
Well, I gave you some great opportunities. Like, I mean, I look at number 13. 13, I hit my approach shot was one of the worst approach shots I've hit all year. And I was like, what is even happening? I over curl one right into the bunker, and then it's a long bunker shot.
Oh, so isn't that the one you put your first ball in the water?
No, that's 14.
Oh, it's 14.
So 13, 13 is a straightaway, right? So I hit the fairway. I got a lucky bounce off a tree.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I hit the fairway and I'm out and I'm like, I'll take a 9-iron. It's a back pin, whatever. Well, I over curled it, put it into the sand to the left. You ended up on the right side front pin, mind you, and with a back pin. So then I get into the sand. I give it a little bit of oomph because it's a long sand shot. Overshoot, have to chip back. So I got a putt to make for 5. Well, here you freaking 3-putt for a bogey, and I'm able to drain my bogey putt. So I saved a hole there.
Yeah, have that hole that I should have had.
Yep, 100%.
Just couldn't take it.
And then I mean, next hole was very similar. You were at an aggressive line. You hit a beautiful drive, but you ended up behind the pine tree with no look at the green.
I did have a look at the green. I did.
Okay.
But I had to punch it low to run it up on the green. And I actually hit a really good shot with a hybrid close face. But again, ran right through, right off the back. And it was a front pin.
That's right, yes.
And it's like, you hit a good shot and you don't get that result. Then I went up and I hit my chip shot. Didn't put it on the green, just put it on the fringe. And then it was that big sloping right to left bullshit that was going on. And it's like, just knock it around there. I don't even know what I did.
All this,
was a double too.
You took a double. All this after I hit my tee shot into the water. So I went up. I take my drop. I'm hitting 3. And I hit my ball. I had a really good strike, but I was out to the right. So we were basically in very similar spots for a chip off. And I hit my chip while I got it on, and I just missed my bogey putt. I made my double, and you made your double, and I'm like, wow, it was like another opportunity where he could have taken it. And then number 15 or 14, sorry, which is 12, 30, yeah. So this is 14's the par 3.
Yeah.
So from the yellows, it's shorter.
I think this was the hole that did it for me.
Yeah, I think this ended the match because I was only 2 up at this point still. And so I hit a 9-iron because we were into the wind. Again, I was over curling everything today, which is just a little bit of my setup and a little bit of my face being closed. So I hit it back behind the bunkers and what I thought was OB into the water. So opportunity for you because you're teeing up next.
And I'm hitting a club that I'm really comfortable with.
Yeah.
And I hit my drive. I hit it off the heel. Doesn't come off. Barely comes off the ground. Hits the tee marker.
The red tee
marker in front of us and goes right in the water.
Yeah, it goes out to the left and then into the water where I lost the ball in the previous hole. So Clark's like, well, I think you're both in the water. So you go up there. You hit yours.
I take a drop.
Yeah.
I hit a terrible approach shot. Didn't get to the green. And I took a natural 6 on that one.
Yeah, and I walk over. I grab a ball out of my bag because I'm walking, and I'm like, I'll put one in my pocket because I'm probably in the fucking water. And as I get to the green and I'm looking down, I'm like, oh shit, I'm alive. And I'm like, Clark, look, there's my ball right there, just so everybody knows that it didn't go in the water. And you're like, did you go in the water? I'm like, no. And he's like, of fucking course you didn't. And
I think it was more like, that's bull fucking shit. Bullshit. I was so choked. And again, that's probably why I fucked up that shot because it's like, I could go on all day about how disappointing this round was. But again, you got to move on from it. Yep. I came home and I was like, I got to fucking I want to finish this season strong. Not even in league play. I just want to play well down the stretch here because our season's running out. We got another month, maybe a month and a half left in the season.
Yep, and our Mulligans and Hackers season is over. Now it's just go play your golf and just try and continue to build on what you're playing.
And I want to finish strong. I don't want to finish my last half a dozen rounds in the 90s. I want to finish in the 80s. I don't care if it's 89s. I want to finish in the 80s, right? And just today was just so, again, I feel more frustration playing golf than I do positive emotions playing golf, and that's really starting to play on me now. It play on my mind is like I go and have a great round yesterday, and when I walked away from the round yesterday shooting a career best, I wasn't even really happy. Like I didn't, and that's why I asked the question: like, do you take it or do you reflect and go, well, it could have been better? And that's my mindset, and I that hurt me going into today was that mindset is I just couldn't take it as Alvin, you played an outstandingly good round. I look back and I go, I could have been better. There were strokes I could have taken off. And I can't get that mental click to say, just let that go. You played well. And I go today and I play a butchered round. And I'm like, see, this is how my mind fucks with me.
But I mean, like I said, I said on your post, I was like, dude, take it and run with it. Like, you played a terrific round. There's always. I remember when I shot 80 a couple weeks ago. Like, I did the same thing. I had a chance to break 80. I bogeyed 18. I got myself into a little bit of trouble, and I knew I was like, you didn't really give yourself a chance to get your par here. But I looked back on that round, and I did a similar thing afterwards. I'm like, I could have shaved a stroke here. I could have shaved a stroke here, right? You could have broke 80. But at the end of the day, I looked at it, and I'm like, I shot 80. I should be really happy with that because that's a really good round for someone, where we're at with our handicaps and our skill level. And I mean, even today, shooting an 85, like, when I say that I lipped like 6 putts, I'm not shitting you.
No,
I mean, some of them fucking spun back out with a big fuck you right in the face. And I'm just like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, I was there. I watched those.
Like,
it was almost like the course wasn't going to give us anything today.
Oh my God.
Right? It was just like, you know what? You had a good day yesterday, but today it's not going
it
to
was a
happen
grind.
It was a grind.
It was a grind. Like, I mean, 85, that could have been like, when I got home, I'm like, dude, that could have been an epic round. Like, I could have been in the 70s for sure. But I didn't, because I made some shots and I missed some shots. So, I mean, I made a joke early on. I'm like, this putter is going in timeout right away because it's fucking pissing me off. I still finished under 2 putts per hole, so whatever. But
I haven't put my round in yet. I'll do that shortly. But like to go from a +8 to a +20, a 12 shot difference in a day. I mean,
that's hard.
It is difficult. It's difficult to comprehend. It's difficult to put in the scorecard or the Canada Golf app. It's just, and it's just so I don't know. But it's just demoralizing.
Do you right? So I gotta ask you, because I mean, this has happened a few times now this year. Like, only once have you been able to build off a really great round, and that was at Desert Bloom. You had a terrific round, and then the next day we played our tour event there, and you played phenomenal. And I was like, all right, like, maybe this is something. You build 2 days in a row, you play great rounds, but all year long it seems like you'll have a great round, like usually once every few weeks you have like an elite round for you. And then the next round is almost always you can guarantee it's going to be around a 90.
Well, again, I've been playing for 4 years now. I think earlier on this year at the Bloom, the back-to-back decent rounds. It's the only time I've ever had back-to-back decent rounds. In my golf, like, since I've been playing for 4 years, in the hundreds of rounds that I've played in the last 4 years, I think that's the only time I ever went decent back-to-back.
So what is your, like, so when you play a round as well as you do, what is your mindset going into your next round? Like, what are you trying to accomplish, or what are you hoping to see out of that round that seems to mess with you so much? I guess is kind of what I'm trying to find.
I don't know. I truly don't know. Like, today I was like, not that the routine was almost identical, but the routine was pretty close to
the same.
Yeah. I get to the golf course, I'm feeling good, right?
Yeah.
Even after the first hole, double bogey, I was like,
whatever, it's one hole.
Right, it's one hole. I went to the next hole, double bogey. I'm like, okay, you've hit
2 fairways.
Well, again, it's 7 on the first one, 6 on the next one. So that's 13 shots in the first 2 holes. You've hit 2 good shots out of 13, and that was both drives.
Yep. That's
right?
fair.
So you've hit 11 bad shots. And I can't say 11 because the 2 tap-in putts probably take 2 off, right? So 4. So 9 bad shots in 2 holes. I have difficulty looking at where I am going, okay, well, your irons were shit. Your approach shots were shit. Okay, so what do you need to do to make your next iron approach shot better? right? So that when I'm standing over the ball for my next iron shot, I'm already in a defeated mentality.
That
right?
makes sense. That makes sense.
And then you hit your next approach shot. Because again, I don't worry about my driver off the tee box. Even if I hit a bad driver, that's only one in like,
Yeah, but even
36 holes.
a bad driver for you is not usually that bad. Like it's just it's out of your normal position.
Yeah,
is all.
It's behind a tree or it's in the first cut or whatever. Right?
But I mean, like I would give anything to have your fucking off.
And
the,
I would
off
give
the
anything
tee
to have
box.
your fucking approach game, right? Like because you hit your irons so well, and I think, I don't know if it's just this, golf is expensive,
Mhm.
right? Golf is an expensive sport. But I do think I need to go and get fitted for my irons so that I know in my head, and again, just working on this.
The puzzle piece
fucking-
just clicks in that
Right.
you have everything you need, right?
I have a game that I can play and
Yep.
that can get me where I want to be. But is it the equipment that isn't? Because I've never been fitted, and the clubs I have are stock clubs off the shelf. But you would think after hundreds and hundreds of rounds, you would be able to hit these clubs effectively, right?
That being said, you can hit them effectively, but is there something subconsciously that when you step behind the ball, you're like, could I be a little better if it was fine tuned to me? And you might not even think about it like consciously, it just might subconsciously in your mind click there. Because I never have a thought like when I make a bad swing with my clubs, I'm like, that's all me. That is all me. When I overcurl a ball, that's my setup, or that's an open or a closed face, or an open face when I slice a ball. I'm like, it's never the clubs. It's me operating them and me doing something that I shouldn't be doing in my setup, or rushing through my setup, or whatever. I trust my yardages on my clubs 100%. And I mean that's usually why my approach shots are so well, because I have everything fine tuned, right?
Yeah.
I have half swings, I have quarter swings, I have 3/4 swings and full swings of all my wedges. And then it's like I know exactly what I need, what club needs to get me for distances, and I'm just comfortable with that. And you might not be there. That might not be in your head. And I think like we were talking about it the other day, like on Thursday night, and I said, you said to me, you're like, you'd be a single digit handicap if you could just get off the tee box good. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, and if you could fucking hit a green, I was like, you'd be in the same boat.
Right? Yeah, exactly. It's just, but it's been in my head for since we started playing golf. Like, am I missing that? Am I missing out on that? And I know
and you've talked about it the last couple of years since I got fitted, right?
And finances being what they are, that's my next step is to get fitted and pick a set of clubs that I want to use. And I was chatting with some people online through a live IG the other night. I was like, I haven't really nailed down a brand that I would want to use. Like when I go get fitted and I want to get a set of irons.
Mm-hmm.
So there, but I think the first step is to go get fitted. And I think that's going to be when our season winds down here now in the next month or so. When we put it to bed this year, in the off season, I'm hoping we can get to play golf at some sims in a sim league this winter. Because I really don't want to stop swinging the clubs.
No, man, we've done so much work.
Right.
Well, I mean, I feel like we've done so much work to kind of get our game just kind of going now, right?
Yeah, I don't want to stop.
Yeah, because then you gotta spend like 2 months getting it back again in the
Exactly,
summertime.
and I don't want that. So, but when our season ends and we're prepping, I think one of the first things I'm going to do is go get fitted, go get the numbers.
Go see Bob.
Go see Bob.
Right? Just get your fitting numbers. I mean, I know you were kind of you've been talking about different brand names. I mean, he does PXG.
I know.
I mean, he's got PXG up and down his bag. If you looked at it the other day when he was when he was on the tee box after us.
Again, I'm in that. Again, I'm not going with a big brand. It's not going to be TaylorMade,
Yeah,
Callaway,
yeah.
right? That's not my style. My style is going to be either. There's a couple other brands out there too. I've been floating around like Adele and maybe something like Vice or something like that. But that's something I can fish around for over the next few months and kind of see where I want to go with that. But again, for next year, because again we're planning on playing more events on the Alberta Golf Tour next year. Which, even though I'm disappointed with the way our Mulligans and Hacker season went this year, and the Alberta Golf Tour event was a great experience this year, even though the a couple of the events weren't ideal.
Yeah, we're the bringers of rain, apparently.
Apparently, we are the bringers of rain, except if you're down here in the desert. We don't bring rain down here.
Yeah, well, we just don't get rain down here.
Just when we go north to Calgary, we bring the rain. But I want to be prepped for that if we're going to do more of that next year.
Well, and I think that's a logical next step for you, right? Like I think when I got into this, and I mean when I was thinking about changing, because I had bomb tech clubs, just off the shelf, online. They were cheap. I didn't want to buy anything crazy expensive because I'm like just getting into this game. I don't know what to buy. And then when we started getting serious about this, I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna do this, because that's just the kind of person I am. I'm like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get every advantage I can have. I'm gonna go talk to a club fitter, get fitted, and I had no idea what I wanted, like no idea. I walked in and I said I want to get my numbers, and then we hit a couple balls, and he's like, you should play these irons. Have you thought about these? And he showed them to me, and I'm like, okay. But then he's like, these shafts, he's like, they're silver or black. I'm like, oh, black, got to go blackout all day long. And then talk about grips and whatever else. And then when I first got them, I remember, because this happens to everybody when they get fitted for clubs. I remember the first day that I got them, the first few days or the first few weeks, couldn't hit them. Seems to be a common story, right? Like you hit them so well when you're getting fitted, and then it's like you get them and you're like, what did I just do? I just went and spent X number of dollars on a freaking set of clubs and I cannot hit them. What is up with that? But after playing a bunch of rounds and finding my groove with them, there is something to be said for standing behind a ball and just being like, I need X number of distance. Well, I know exactly what club to grab there. I know exactly what kind of swing that needs to get me there. And let's go full send. No doubt in my mind, this has got to go where it's got to go.
I think I do have when I'm playing like most of my rounds, I have that doubt.
Yep.
I don't have that. Yeah, I can do this. It's like hit it and see what happens. That's kind of my mentality, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, no, and I mean, there's often been times where we're playing, you're like, I'm stuck between clubs because I don't trust the distance, you say.
Yep. I do find myself clubbing up a lot more than definitely clubbing down. But again, in the last little while, I've been working on my takeaway and my shoulder turn. And today, you noticed there was a couple of holes where I totally overshot the green.
Yeah.
Because this is the club I would normally hit. And now you're getting 10 more yards on this thing, and you're off the back. And I'm like,
yeah, man.
Especially with my, we'll say gap wedge, pitch wedge, 9-iron.
Yep.
Those areas, it's like
you're putting distance on those clubs, right? Now.
And now, now when you get up and you're looking at, and I'm looking at it, and I'm going, I don't know, pick this club and fucking hope and a prayer, right? So again, there's work to be done. The disappointment I have right now will wane as the next few weeks come, and then my mind will refocus. Because again, I'm not giving up on the season. I want to finish strong when it comes to playing, because we're playing again tomorrow.
Yep.
I'm going to come and I'm going to walk tomorrow morning and get my 18 holes in, get another round in, and I think you're gone next weekend. Clark's gone next weekend, so I might take that weekend.
And
off.
Dave, we're all gone next weekend.
So I might take next weekend off and just not play golf. Maybe hit the simulator.
Yep. And then the following weekend, I can only play Sunday because my mom's wedding on Saturday, and I'm gone on the Friday because that's when high school volleyball starts. So I mean, my season basically is more or less over now, because I'll play a couple times a week when I can, on weekends when I'm not around. But it kind of wanes down here. But I mean, we are going to play in the Ironman, which is a scramble at Medicine Hat on October 6th,
yep.
Which is a Sunday. So it's basically like a greenskeeper revenge kind of tournament where they max the tee boxes on every hole. They put the pins in the most ridiculous spots so that they're all dirty and tough to get. And it's designed to be incredibly challenging. I remember talking to a guy on the range yesterday. I don't know if you were there yet or not, but Clark and I were talking to him, and he's like, I said to Clark, I was like, we got our team for the Ironman. And the guy's like, have you ever played in the Ironman? I'm like, no. And he's telling me stories about whatever. And he's like, the one year we were playing in the snow, he's like, and on number 4, he's like, they had the tee boxes back past the number 3 green to the right. He's like, and it was snowing, and we all had to hit driver from there into the tee box. And I'm like, oh my God, that's just wild. And I guess he's like one guy or one team on the first hole was like, who put these pins here? This is ridiculous. And he's like, well, if you think that's bad, he's like, you're in for a long day. But so that should be a fun tournament. I mean, it's just another experience to have something fun and challenging, right? And just go get a dinner and have a fun tournament. So that'll be cool. And I mean, like Alvin said, we in our minds. It's I think something we're gonna do. We pared down the season this year. It's probably going to be something similar, maybe even less next season if nobody kind of runs it. And we'll just play when we're around with our buddies and count those rounds and do our thing. And it's I don't know. For me, it's it's been an interesting season because like I've spent so much time focusing on different things. Like I lost my driver for pretty well my entire season, and I've just recently found the swing again. And I've put in a lot of work with my irons and my wedges and my putters. I've kind of been bouncing between two putters because I bought the Jailbird and I wanted to give it an honest go. But when we're in a competitive round, I just don't feel comfortable using it. But I mean, it's one of those years where I love the switch we made to go to Medicine Hat because I think it's made us better players overall. Like we got to play longer holes.
That I agree with.
We got to use clubs that like I mean even going back down to Cottonwood when we played the Scramble a couple weeks ago, I was like, man, I could play this course with like 5 clubs. Like literally play this course with 5 clubs.
Again, I hit a drive and on hole number 2. And I cleared the shit where I lost a ton of balls there in the last 3 years.
Yep.
Prior 3 years. I wasn't even like it wasn't even a doubt that I wasn't going to clear it when we played that round. And I was like, so that's how much my game has changed a little bit when it comes to getting more yardage out of my driver. And then I attribute that totally to playing at a place like Medicine Hat.
Yeah.
Where you have to hit not that you have to hit longer, but at least more accurate.
Well, and I mean, the longer you're able to hit, the better opportunity and better looks you have coming into greens, right? So it's, I don't know. It was, when we discussed making the change at the end of last season, neither of us was really scared about it. We were kind of looking at it as an opportunity to grow our games, and I think that's exactly what it's done. I mean, that course is in such phenomenal shape. I cannot say enough about it. It's always in great condition.
It's a great environment.
100%.
I love the practice facility.
One of the arguably the best in the city. I mean, Desert Bloom would be the only other one that could argue about it. And then I mean, like the staff is just awesome. They're anytime you see them, like I mean, I'll see Wayne or Connor out giving lessons on the range, and like when they're done their lesson, they'll say hi on their way back, and the kids that work there are all good. They're all good kids, and they're very friendly. It's you think golf courses are hoity-toity, and Medicine Hat being one of the best ones in the city, you would think would be hoity-toity, but it's not. Honestly, I find Connaught more hoity-toity than Medicine Hat, and Connaught has way more public green fee players because that's what slows down their stupid pace of play.
Yeah, so I think we have to give a shout out to Medicine Hat for being a great host for us this year.
Yeah.
Excellent facilities, excellent people. It was a solid choice changing and going to Medicine Hat this year, and I look forward to definitely playing there again next year.
For sure.
So shout out to Medicine Hat. Appreciate everything you did for us this year, and looking forward to what comes next for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome, and I mean over the next few days or this week we'll blast out some photos of some trophies.
Yeah, you'll have to do that because I'm not really interested.
Yeah, I know, but we'll put some out as we always do and do our thing. And I mean, you did pick up 2 wins this year, so 2 wins in 7 attempts isn't terrible, including beating me again in a playoff, which you're the only guy to beat me in a playoff, and you've done it twice now, so you do have that feather.
I wish I could translate that to some other wins, but that is what it is. But I'm not looking forward to the off season here, but I'm looking forward to what the off season brings for next year.
Yep.
Looking forward to seeing the Alberta Golf Tour schedule for next year.
Yeah, it should be awesome.
So we can start planning that for next summer. Work is aware that I will be taking some time off for this stuff. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, it's been a fun ride, guys, and I mean, shout out to I mean, as our season draws to a close, the PGA Tour ended today, and well, Scotty Scheffler won the FedEx Cup in his third try, coming in as the #1 seed. So that was nice to see this afternoon. But other than that, I mean, we'll have some guest pods here coming up,
You bet.
hopefully shortly, and some different stuff over the winter.
Do we still keep putting one out on Mondays if we can?
I think so. I think the goal should be to get one out every Monday. I mean, even if it's just you and I sitting down and checking in with everybody, and I mean, you know, discussing whatever's happening.
Bring up some topics. Maybe we'll talk a little pro golf over the winter.
Yeah, we could talk a little pro golf. We could talk. Hopefully, we get into a sim league. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, if you do happen to go get fitted or some new technology or something, I mean, there's always going to be stuff to discuss.
Okay.
We always sit down for
And
this.
we're going to do. We have a guest podcast coming up for next week. So check in to that because that was one I did. That was I thought was fabulous, and we'll let you know about that when it comes a little closer time to drop. And yeah, we've got some friends that we've had on before that we're going to get back on to catch up. It's been over a year, so yeah. So we're looking forward to the winter, see what it brings, and
probably be seeing more of this guy's face than mine, of course, because I'll be busy with volleyball and doing my other half year things. So, but I'll be around as much as I can, and I mean, Alvin does a good job locking things down and putting out a good guest podcast. So it's
season 4 is in the books, pal.
Yeah, man, it's season 4 in the books, and I mean, sorry for your disappointing luck. Play better next time,
Golf
I guess.
Sucks.
I mean, it is what it is. Oh yeah. By the way, we just wanted to have a shout out to the boys at CDP, Chasing Daylight's podcast. I do believe, unless something changes, this guy right here is the champion of our fantasy golf league that we participated in with you guys.
Yes. Fuck you. You get involved in shit and you win it all the time.
It's what I do, man. It's annoying, isn't it?
One of the most fucking annoying things about being your pal is I think I might have finished third, possibly.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's looking that way.
And always finishing close to you, but never being able to beat you is really getting old. But again, I'm way older than you too, so you should be playing from the whites and I should be playing from the hybrids.
Yeah, you think that's how that should work?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I mean, I don't know what to say with your game. You walked yesterday and you played from the hybrids. You shot your best ever. Because earlier in the year, you're like, it's walking. I'm getting fatigued. So then today you carded and you played worse. So I'm like, I don't know. I got no answers for you.
Yeah, I know. I'm just gonna walk out the string now. So
get the exercise and try and build on it. But thanks for listening, guys. It's been a blast. Hope you enjoyed the recap, and we'll catch up with you guys in a couple weeks here.
Episode 70 will be out next week.
69 next
69
week.
Next week.
With a special guest. So make sure you guys tune into that one as well.
Thanks, everybody.
Anyways, later.